A lady reads a nasty comment written on her windshield and fights back tears. Though Justine Vandenborn did her best to pretend it had not touched her, she was at her breaking point. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. She penned an open letter to the individual who had placed the piece of paper on her car's windshield and snapped a picture of the note. I was having a fantastic day when you saw me. It was a lovely day as I strolled with my kid without assistance. I'm sorry you ruined that. Why was Justine so horrified? Numerous vehicles that are incorrectly or carelessly parked have been observed. When we observed others parking their automobiles in spaces designated for the disabled, it was even more disgusting. For the disabled, however, it was the time to take action and obtain justice. Though the note's author could have learnt a more important lesson that day, the message should nonetheless teach them a lesson. Walking was a task Justine was happy to take on. She enjoyed going to all the big events and spending time with her friends and family. She hated to consider her illness and how it might impact her in the years to come. In Melbourne, Australia, Justine was out and about shopping at the Mitcham Shopping Centre. She believed someone could have crashed into her car and left a letter after noticing a piece of paper on the glass. But her cheeks became red as soon as she took up the message. Her mood worsened even though her automobile was okay. Along with her spouse and 2 children, Miss Vandenborn, 47, resides in Melbourne, Australia. She had no clue that her narrative would instantly make her famous on the day she snapped the picture and put it online. Justine stated that she was really amazed by the response to the 2015 article that included the letter she observed on her windshield. Sadly, it is still evident that this is a problem after 5 years. The note was incorrect for the following reason. Justine was 35 years old when she received a diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, a disorder in which the body destroys its own nerve cells in the brain and spinal cord. Complications from the condition include limb paralysis, mental abnormalities, spasms in the muscles, and other symptoms. Justine was still walking, which was fortunate. Remember these things before you ruin someone else's day. You don't know everything. And just because something is hidden from your view doesn't mean that someone isn't doing their hardest to go forward. When Justine's tweet went viral, the information she gave helped many who were unaware of the signs of multiple sclerosis and motivated others who are also dealing with the illness. Justine went shopping with her daughter that day. Justine had her disability parking ticket in the window, which is required for people with multiple sclerosis, so she parked her car near to the door and carried on with her day. She found this message when she got back. "Did you forget your wheelchair?" The message said, "It's common knowledge that parking in designated areas for individuals with disabilities is inappropriate. Yet, assuming that someone is not using a wheelchair is not accurate. We hope the person who left Justine the note saw the letter she sent for them. To the individual who left this on my car at Mitcham Shopping Centre last week. I was 35 years old when I received my multiple sclerosis diagnosis. Not only MS, but the worst kind that lingers forever and is gradually ruining my life," Justine stated. She described how learning about her disability had altered her future and how her children now had to cope with problems that no child should ever have to deal with. After that, Justine carried on with her letter, describing how she was enjoying her day with her daughter up until she noticed the note. "You gave me the impression that everyone was staring at me in the same manner that I get when I can't walk correctly." Justine said, "I'm tired of people like you mistreating me when I'm having a good day because I'm using a facility to which I'm entitled. A disability doesn't always mean a person has to be wheelchair-bound, but lucky for you, I one day will be," she remarked, bringing us to tears. "My current goal is to not need to be prodded when I enter my best friend's wedding in September of next year. I'll be 42. Thankfully, Justine is still ambulating 5 years later, but she did impart some valuable life lessons to all of us. First, Justine instilled in us the importance of perseverance and self-belief in the face of adversity. She then imparted this knowledge to us. I'll say it again, just because something is invisible doesn't imply that someone isn't having difficulty walking forward. Indeed, I did enter my closest friend's wedding uninvited. She described what it's like to have MS in an interview with The Age. I can't walk great distances, carry my own groceries, and I have an 80-year-old's bladder. But that's just because of my age, so people assume I'm doing something wrong, Justine told The Age. CEO of Disability Rights UK Liz Sayce acknowledged in an interview with The Independent that there is a culture of mistrust towards those whose disabilities are not immediately apparent. Sayce requested us to picture ourselves as having MS or heart illness, with limited mobility and being looked at like possible con artists if you dare to park in a handicapped spot. Out of the 11 million handicapped persons in the UK, she points out that just 1.2 million use wheelchairs, demonstrating the need to eradicate discrimination. Even if the individual could have meant well, they still need to have edited their message, or even simply spoken to Justine directly to avoid coming out as impolite. Justine received messages from friends and relatives wishing that the writer of this letter would one day come across this post. Some individuals think the person ought to have been more polite and thought of another way to approach the question. It is acceptable for people to raise queries without using offensive notes. Here's another woman who experienced something similar. She goes by Lauren Rowe, and she is an incredible young woman. Breathe in as though someone is pressing a pillow against your face. Every day, Lauren Rowe experiences just that. Lauren is a 30-year-old marvel. The normal person with her illness lives to be 44 years old, yet she is unstoppable at 30. Lauren had cystic fibrosis from birth, and as time went on, she also developed osteoporosis and diabetes. Her respiratory system was severely damaged by the illness, and even when she sits, she can only breathe with 30% of her lung capacity. She struggles to breathe even while going on a stroll, and her health only got better after receiving 2 lung transplants. That is, until the organs were rejected by her body's immune system. What kind of letter had been put on the windscreen of her automobile then? When Lauren went to a movie theater in Campbelltown, on Sydney's west side, she was 26 years old. After parking, she got out of her car and made her way to the elevator. Then she noticed an eye observing her. Lauren said, "I did see you death stare me as I walked from the car to the lift with my friend, and looked the other way because tonight was the first night I have been out in a long time, and I was excited to go to the movies with my friends without thinking about the darkness of my reality," in a Facebook message to the person who had left her the message. The message remained the same even though this memo didn't ask about the absence of a wheelchair. The guy seemed to be horrified that a person with a handicap might have a normal appearance and a grin. It said as follows in the message, "We acknowledge the 2 young women who parked here and left without giving us a thought." "Excellent work," read the message that was presumably penned after Lauren entered the elevator. Sadly, according to Lauren, this is not the first time she has been penalized for using a disabled sticker. "It helps me on the days when I have trouble breathing." For Lauren and any other patient with cystic fibrosis, this is an unseen disease that may lead to significant emotional stress as they accept their limitations and perhaps even question their own talents. According to her, the young woman recommended that the individual who left the message get in touch with her. Perhaps Lauren would have informed the woman about her circumstances. Lauren quips that she's a senior now that she's 30. "Being a person with cystic fibrosis, I feel like I'm almost a senior now that I'm 30, but without the excellent deals and sagging breasts. I spend many hours using nebulizers and treatments, and that's all I do to stay alive," she continued. Lauren never ceases to amaze us all and serves as an inspiration to all of us. Though it takes a lot of time to produce a video because she can't breathe correctly, she uses her YouTube channel to educate others about the chronic diseases that individuals have. Lauren is making every effort to bring this unseen condition to light. Many chronic disease sufferers park in designated handicapped parking spaces with permits in hand. According to Victoria Teresa, she experiences the same thing every day and just ignores them, which irritates them even more. The life of a chronic illness requires us to learn to be judgment-free. According to Debbie Barada, not all disabilities are evident from the outside. People shouldn't criticize something they don't know unless they have walked in someone else's shoes, she concluded. Shortly after Lauren and Justine shared their tales, they became viral. We hope that this has increased awareness of these disorders and taught us a good lesson. Individuals who are making an effort to live a regular life should be treated with consideration, and we should all cease passing judgment on people before learning the whole story. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.